So today I just want to take you through a very brief introduction to Pure 360 and look at the top tips, really, my top 10 tips for email marketing. So a little bit about Pure 360. We are a marketing automations business with email at its core. We have really a unique position in the market. We have the technology, but we also have a strategic framework which allows our customers to really understand how they can make the next steps in terms of sophistication and marketing sophistication. The framework is called the maturity model. It enables customers to be able to benchmark where you sit in terms of email sophistication. It also gives you a really structured journey as to how to make the next steps in improvement by setting really easy goals and identifying missed opportunities. So today I'm going to take you through my top 10 tips for 2017, how to accelerate your email marketing. What this isn't is email 101. This is how you can set yourself apart from your competitors. So these are the top 10 tips from me. So we're going to look at data, simplicity. I'm also going to suggest that personalization is dead. We're going to look at real-time triggers. Also the importance of psychology in email marketing. Looking at email driving the customer experience, and also cross-channel engagement, design and creativity, mobile first, and then beyond the click. So there are any trekkies out there who might get this joke. We're going to start with data today, but we're also going to end with data. Data is absolutely key in all your strategy, and I think you've heard that message time and time again with the other channels as well. Customers want to receive emails. We've produced lots of research in the past couple of years, interviewing customers, consumers. What do they want from their emails? And they want to receive emails from you, but they want them to be relevant and personalised. And the only way to do this is to really understand them and start integrating your data sources. So it may sound like a cliche, but unless you know your audience and segment them, you will always remain at a batch and blast activity. Segmenting and creating specific journeys can actually increase your open rates by over 40%. And actually remember that emails that appeal to everyone almost end up appealing to nobody. So that's why segmentation is absolutely critical. And you can't really do this without understanding your audience. Another way to understand your audience is to start bringing together data sources. And we've talked about this before. You've got data from your emails, you've got data from social, you've got your offline data from your CRM. As you start bringing those data sources together, you can get a much better picture of who your customer is, what they're doing, and where they're doing that. So starting small is absolutely important. So start building different segments together and different pieces of data together. But if you can't do that, then actually start looking at your email data. If you can just build segments from engagement within email, that is absolutely really key as well. Once you've identified who's engaged and who isn't engaged, then you can start building segments and putting together scenarios around how you want to treat each of these segments. The next point is actually simplicity. In your emails, I think we're all guilty of it. We just want to chuck a ton of information in one email. Simplicity is absolutely key. So in the 17 years that I've been in marketing, we've seen that the brands that really cut through and that are disrupting and demanding more consumer attention are those that have simplicity and absolute clarity at the core of their experience. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room, which was earlier on I said that personalization was dead. But actually personalization in the way that we're using it today, first name, maybe a few demographic pieces of data, that's really old now. And if you look in your inbox, most brands are just personalizing based on first name. So we need to go beyond that. So I think really what we're talking about is personalization 2.0. So it's no longer first name. It's all about using data in the ways that actually creates value for your customer. But also remembering that over-personalization can actually turn the consumer off. So I've got two examples here, one from Amazon and another from a leading clothing brand. And basically what they do is, and we've heard it in other talks as well, is other people who are like you have bought products like this. And that's so compelling for you to then make that additional sale. How many retailers do we have in this room? Do we have many retailers? Well, if you are a retailer and you are an online retailer, you may know, you may not know, that a lot of your revenue is lost in abandoned baskets. Being able to target people based on those abandoned baskets is absolutely key to improving your revenue stream. They can increase revenues hugely, but also you can activate triggers based on whether people have come to your website and then not done anything afterwards. You can also create special offers or limited time vouchers to move first time buyers to more regular. And Waitrose do this really well. So you purchase once from them and then they have a 5-email journey which then triggers you to then make the next purchase. And they know from their understanding of customers that once you purchase 5 times, you are a lifetime value customer for them. I just want to take you through a quick journey of TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor performs some really great email marketing. So at the beginning of your journey with them, they spend a lot of time warming you up to the brand and also nurturing you into visiting some of the places that you've been researching. Then when they're at the point that they've assumed that you've visited some of these places, they start asking you to generate content for them. And we had a talk just now on content. The most compelling content that you can provide is user-generated content. This requires investment from your consumer, but once they've given it, they're pretty much hooked into your brand. So then what they do is once you've visited, once you've reviewed, then they start making you feel good about what you've done. So they send you an email telling you that you've reviewed one of their traveler's choice. So it makes you feel good. You start warming to the brand. Then as you start reviewing, gamification kicks in. So they start then rewarding you for reviewing, and then they keep rewarding you for reviewing more and more. And I don't know how many people have actually reviewed on TripAdvisor, but I do. And pretty much all the time I get emails, just one more review until your next badge, one more review until your next badge. And that really compels you to drive that forward. Then they also use a Facebook integration. So they use Facebook Connect. And there's a lot of social proof research out there that actually says that if you can prove that your consumers' friends have been doing actions and taking actions, your products become much more compelling. So what TripAdvisor do is they integrate with your Facebook friends, and then they send you emails to tell you that your friends have also done this, or that your friends have done this, why don't you do this too? So they're just a selection of really fantastic emails from TripAdvisor of the different tactical things that you can do with email marketing. So then the next is the psychology of email. Psychology is used in TV, billboards, radio, magazines, everywhere, but really never considered for email marketing. Next year, we'll start seeing more and more brands taking on psychology. And I wanted to just touch on the two sides of the brain. I'm not sure if any of you have read about the chimp paradox, or there's lots of research out there saying there are two sides of our brain. One's the intelligent side, takes a little bit longer. It takes a few minutes to compute, to analyze things. And then there's the emotional side, which reacts very quickly, reacts within 2 to 3 seconds. If you then apply that to email, and you have probably less than 2 to 3 seconds to make an impact, you can see then that you're actually having to compete with the emotional side of the brain. You're going to have to appeal to that side of the brain. So how do you do that? So create content that makes your segments tick. Each will respond in a different way. Use social proof. Consumers are 63% more likely to purchase when they're given ratings and reviews. And then also this marketing professionals email is inspiring because brands are now using emotions to inspire you to behave in a way to make you make that next action. And Booking.com do that really well in terms of scarcity. They do it on their website and they do it on their emails as well. They tell you that 2 other people are viewing this, but there's only 1 room left. So they compel you to make that action really, really quickly. Also, colors are really key. Colors on the calls to action are absolutely paramount to understand and to test. So let's consider these 2 emails, if hopefully you can all see them. Hands up if you think the green button one. I'd say probably most of you. Hands up if you think the red button one. So the red button one. Now, as any marketer, I probably would have chosen the green one because it looks better. It flows, it's uniform, it looks a lot better. But actually, the red button is urgency. Red is urgency. Get started now. That performed, I think, 60% better than the green one. So test is absolutely important to keep testing. Images also invoke really, really strong emotional responses with us. So we've got this image that invokes one emotion. Oh, cute. But then we have this image, which invokes another really, really strong emotion in us. So images are absolutely key. Not only that, the calls to action and the writing and the content that you actually put in the calls to action are really, really important as well. Amnesty are a client of ours. The email on the right-hand side was their original email. It's a donate. Then they decided to test something different. If you're an Amnesty customer, you actually feel really, really passionate and compelled. And so they decided to change the donation to take action. And the response, the difference in the response was huge. So test things that work for your audience. We've heard about it a lot today. Understanding your audience and what compels your audience and what makes your audience tick is really, really important in all of this. So in 2017, we're going to start seeing email used as a tool and a channel to improve the customer experience as well. These are 2 brands that I really love. One is the Langham, beautiful hotel in London, and Twitter. What the Langham do is before you visit them, they send you a really nice email to ask you if you wanted to book any travel with them. They also ask you what your favorite fruit is. So when you arrive in the room, they've got a platter of your favorite fruit waiting for you. It doesn't take a lot to do that, but it adds that additional customer service. And that's how you stand out amongst the others. Twitter do it really well as well. They make you feel like they really know you. They understand, they're watching what you're doing, they're understanding what you're doing, and then they're delivering you content relative and relevant to what you're doing. And then we're going to start seeing cross-channel engagement a lot more. So email will remain, in my opinion, the absolute linchpin to marketing and digital marketing. So until we start having another unique identifier in the industry, email will be absolutely core. It's where you collect your data, it's your unique identifier. But we're going to start seeing that email and other channels respond really well when you use them together. I had a client, a DIY client, who forgot to send an email out to 300,000 of their customers on a Monday morning. That afternoon, they had their SEO team absolutely up in arms because their SEO activity fell through the floor. Then they went back and had a look at their data, and they understood that actually when a big email goes out, their SEO activity spikes as well. So understanding the correlations between different channels is really, really key. 2017 we'll start seeing design becoming a lot more modular. So if you're using email systems like MailChimp, you'll have a drag and drop editor that will allow you to build emails in a modular format rather than just building one template. One template is very restrictive to any brand. So if you wanted to change any elements within that template, you have to redo everything. Whereas a modular approach allows you to build and then make changes and drop in different bits so that your emails look different every time. Creativity is going to be really key, so go beyond the newsletter. Do something different, say something different, use different elements within your emails. Use real-time trackers, use countdown clocks. These are all tools that are available to you. Start thinking differently. What is different? What can make you look different in the marketplace? And Uber actually performed a really great campaign, and they did it again this year. So Uber, everybody familiar with Uber? They're a taxi company, they're an app taxi company, and they thought, how can we engage our customers without actually getting them to get a taxi? And what they did was sent out an email to everybody, and they said, if you can go into the app and tweet us, we'll send you a free ice cream in our Uber taxi. And it just added so much buzz, and it was so exciting. So they just did something else that was just out of the box, really different, and created a huge amount of buzz. So you'll all know that mobile is absolutely ubiquitous now. So over 80% of the internet users use a smartphone, and over 50% of those reach for a smartphone the minute they wake up. So if the smartwatch takes off, maybe next year we'll start seeing it take off, this is going to pose a real threat and an opportunity to marketers. So emails will be glanced and triaged on watches, so your subject lines are going to be really important, your pre-headers are going to be really important, but also your content needs to be really important, because triage means you look at your watch and you say, right, okay, I'm going to come, delete, and I'm going to come back to these later. And then you might come back to it on a smartphone or on a desktop or a tablet. And then start thinking beyond the click, beyond open rates, beyond click-through rates. Looking at understanding your campaigns by device. How many people are opening my emails on a mobile device? Where are they opening? And which links? So look at heat maps as well. This will give you the data to drive much deeper campaign optimization. And so this is really thinking beyond the click. Can you all see that? So, there are so many solutions available to marketers that allow you to understand beyond the click. Integrating with multiple data sources gives you a much deeper insight into your audiences. Layering third-party data, and this might be going beyond, but layering third-party data, understanding news, understanding weather, how does that affect your marketing? So marketers are looking much more beyond the metrics of open-end clicks now, onto landing pages, onto what do they do then on my website. So really the key takeaways: consumers want to receive emails from you. However, they want them to be relevant and prove that you are delivering value to them. You've got a ton of technology at your fingertips, but also this might create some additional noise for you. How do I do it? What tools do I use? What are the best tools to do it? But understanding your audience, what makes them tick, and deliver offers and content accordingly. Keep it simple. Clarity is absolutely essential, and really data has to be at the heart of your 2017 strategy. It should be informing relevancy and context in real time. And obviously mobile is absolutely ubiquitous. We probably just won't be having this conversation anymore. It'll just be a given. So make sure that you're always thinking about that. And that's it from me. Thank you very much.